Oh.
It's the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
All right, that's pretty funny.
Hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by very special guest, Passion for Drawing. How's it going, man?
Good. I'm a failed clone of Kelsey. Well, actually, he's a failed clone of me. I'm older than him. So.
Nice. That's awesome. Oh, man. Welcome back. Good to have you.
Good to be back. It's been a little bit. Yeah,
always a pleasure.
It's good to see you like in a different are you in a different apartment or house?
I'm in this place now. Oh, dang.
Because last time I saw you, it looked like you were packing up.
Yeah. I don't know.
It looks like you're still packing up.
No, I see. I like to buy fan mail. I mean, I like to put together fan mail packages to my favorite YouTubers. And that's what you see on the floor. It's a mess there, but I got a couple bookcases and built them, assembled them.
That's nice.
The ones you get from Walmart. Mm-hmm. And basically what I was trying to say is that shelf back there, those two bookshelves, about 3/4 of one of those bookshelves is nothing but Comicsgate.
Oh wow, nice. Yeah, I have a section, but I'm purging some, so I might do some trades, or some of them I think I can sell on eBay, but other ones I'd like to trade people. So I'll probably do that soon. So awesome. Like start trading. So I'd rather trade with people who don't have it. Hey, what's up, Unhinged?
Hey, Jason, what's up?
What's up, stranger? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, most definitely. So it's been a little bit since you've been here. I wonder if you wouldn't mind doing it all, going back to your origin story, and just share what you were into when you were younger, and what
I do mind. That's entirely too personal. No,
what kinds of things? What were the major, milestones that you went through that led you down this career of becoming an independent creator?
Well, I wasn't. I'm kind of older, so I didn't really. I always wanted to be a comic book artist. I drew as a kid. I was pretty good, and I joined the military so I could get college money to go to college for art, which I did end up going. I have a degree in art, which they don't. The only thing they teach you in art school is how to study art. So I'm pretty good at that. I don't really teach you art all that much, but I mean, I had some good classes.
You mean it prepares you to go to the museum and
yeah, there was some of that. Like I went downstate, so there wasn't a whole lot of museums around.
Oh,
but we did a lot, like the figure drawing and stuff like that. That was very, very helpful. But then I ended up, you're younger, you listen to people, and you shouldn't. And hey, what's up, Lola?
What's up?
Excuse me. You listen to people, and then I decided to get a degree in graphic design, which I was pretty good at. But then, so desktop publishing became a thing, so I got into that, and then I got into web design all through the late 90s and early 2000s. And then I went back to college when that all died out, and got another degree in computer science, which was a waste of time. So, really? Yeah, I'm a big believer now. Someone who's got 2 degrees, it's like I'm a big believer in college is a waste of time and money. So you don't really learn the skills you need for the jobs you can get. You just need it. The number one I tell people is, if you want to be an artist, go on YouTube, watch every video, and just draw every day. And when you think you're good enough, start putting your art out there. and applying for jobs. Don't worry about a degree.
Mm.
Don't do that. People will hire you if you're good enough. If you don't get hired, that means you're not good enough. And it doesn't matter if you're with or without a degree. They don't care. In art, they don't care.
Yeah.
So, I always wanted to draw comics, but that was back then. That was for kids, and it's always been really hard to get in. I tried for 20 years to get in. I got close quite a few times in the 90s and in the early 2000s. When I first got married, I tried. And it's just, anybody else who's tried to get in those times knows it's not easy. So I started doing fantasy art recently, about 5-6 years ago. I decided to be an independent artist. And I was making decent money, doing that. And then CG came around, and then I started getting involved in that more. And then I'm on my 5th project that I've done. So, in the past, I'm going on to 4 years. Next month will be 4 years in CG. Wow. So I've been here a little while. My first project was a coloring book. Then I did comic book of Doom Fate, and then I did Grave Robbers, and I did story in Raging Golden Eagles, Blade Devil. And I've done all kinds of pinups and pictures and sketch cards and fan arts and drawing streams, and you name it, I've probably done it. So
Lola's asking, so what are you saying, Passion? Is a degree so what you're saying, Passion, is a degree isn't going to change your level of skill?
I could have took that 20 years and probably put it into drawing and got way better than I am now. Because now I'm trying to catch up. I have the fundamentals. I know everything, but I want to be better. But just imagine if I had 20 years practice, I'd be a master at it. I probably would be, if I stuck with comics and did it, it would have been tough. But I probably would be a well-known artist by now. But I'm in CG now, so I get a second chance. And that's good. That's how I see CG. It's a second chance for me. So it's a good thing.
And you are well-known.
Yeah, it's pretty good, yeah. I mean, I'm not top tier. I mean, I didn't draw the X-Men. I didn't draw Flash and Green Lantern. I did, but, I'm making a name for myself. That's all I can do.
Right. There you go. Yeah, college is important if you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or what have you.
Yeah,
but yes, in illustration, and I worked at Michael's for years after graduating.
A doctor or lawyer, well, really a lawyer, all they do is prepare you for tests. I mean, a lawyer, you end up taking the bar exam. Yeah. That's all that it prepares you for. And then the doctor you spend more time in your residency and other things than you do in actual book learning. I mean, you obviously have to know the basics, like how a human body works. That makes sense. Right.
But I mean, generally speaking, I think higher education is now a waste of time. I believe so. I do have to say that when I was studying electronics, it did help to have instructors who were still in the field, or had been in the field, so they could pull from their real life experience instead of focusing solely on book learning, which is so often useless.
Yeah, and I like working with my hands. My father was a mechanic. He's actually a mechanic genius. The man could pull an engine apart and put it back together without looking at anything. I've seen the guy work. He went to some diesel schools, later on, but he never ever took a class, never got a degree. He never did anything. The guy just did it. He learned everything he could, read every manual he could. He just did it, and he's really good. I can put computers together really, really well. I get that, and I can draw. I get that from my father. He's good with his hands. I worked on missile systems in the Navy. I was really good at it.
Ooh,
I got that from him. So, and guns and stuff like that. So I definitely got those traits from him. It runs in my family, but I'm more of an artistic guy than I am a mechanical guy. So I like doing art more. So that's where I am. Hopefully, I did different things all through the years and just trying to, how you get a family, you got to have a job, you got to support your family, stuff like that. and it took me in a different direction. But now, things are, I'm older and it's harder to get jobs, and physically it's harder I have some physical problems. So it's harder for me to lift boxes, throw boxes around, do all that stuff anymore. I can't. So fall back on my art. Yeah. And I've been able to get better and better and better because the CG has gotten me better and better. Doing comic art, I think I'm doing some of the best stuff I've ever done. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Yeah. And I'm having a great time. I'm happy. Career-wise, this is the happiest I've ever been in my life.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. And like you said, all your skills come from just doing it, right? And doing it, practicing, watching videos.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube in a way is kind of like a school in and of itself. Like I once had I owned a station wagon where the AC would turn on, but it wasn't routing through the vents.
Okay.
It turned out it had a failed blower. So I pulled up a YouTube video and actually learned how to replace the blower.
Yeah, I'm like that too, where I have a Honda Element, and there's a gas cap door, for where you put the gas in, and I guess on my model year the spring rusts and it breaks. So like I looked it up, and that there's a guy who did a replacement. He's worked on Hondas for he was a Honda tech, so he shows you how to do it, what the part number is, and I'm like, oh, that's easy. It's just a socket and a screwdriver. That's all you need. It's like, well, I'm not going to pay $200 to.
Yeah, really.
Everything's on there. If you need to learn how to draw, I think one thing though I think that's kind of missing in CG and in comics in general is mentoring. There isn't a whole lot of that anymore, and that needs to be done a little bit more. I think a lot of older guys need to be mentoring more younger guys for comic art. The old dudes like Kirby and those guys would mentor people. They would trade ideas and mentor things because it's a skill set. It's like being a carpenter or a mechanic. You have to learn those skills, and no one's doing that. No one's passing those skills down to other people. In Japan and manga and stuff, they do that a lot. Like if you're a mangaka, you usually have a staff or people work under you and they train under you. We don't have that in comic books too much, and we need to start doing that a little bit more. And I don't think I'm in the position to teach, be a mentor, but a lot of other artists don't do it, and they're getting older. We're going to lose a lot of that. The art form.
That's an interesting idea. It's like storytellers, and they're passing down myths and legends, but what they're really doing is telling histories and culture and stuff like that. Passing down through the generations.
Yeah, it's generational knowledge. Yeah, it's like a lot less people who know how to hunt and do things. Like Boy Scouts are no more anymore. When I was a kid, went to Boy Scouts, and I learned about how to tie knots and survive, notice things out in the wilderness. And, people aren't learning those basic skills, how to create a shelter if you get stuck somewhere, or all these things. Those are basic human things. Because everybody's living in cities and not doing that stuff. And we get too much on technology. I mean, I might, because I'm old, probably saying that, but even when I was growing up, there wasn't a whole lot of that kind of passing down of knowledge. I mean, my father taught me how to look at cars and stuff like that. He taught me some of the basics. I could change plugs and things like that. But, a lot of that knowledge needs to be passed down. We're not doing that because everybody goes on the internet and I know everything.
Right.
What happens if there's no electricity? How you got to figure it out?
I hear you.
It's Gothic Arch.
Yeah, welcome back, man. Haven't seen you in ages. Hail, fellas. Yeah, that's an interesting idea, mentoring.
Yeah, I try to. People ask me for tips, kids and stuff like that, and I try to give them encouragement and tips here and there. They may or may not listen to me, I've had a couple of people who want me to mentor them and stuff, and I just say, hey, I don't think I'm good enough, and I've tried a few times, and it's not easy. But usually, I point people like, go to YouTube. There's tons of other people that are way better at it and learn, and you got to be committed. Art is not something. I believe anybody can do it. It's a skill you can learn, but being good at it and making money at it, that's a whole nother thing. You got to practice, and then it takes a lot of hours. I mean, I'm 49. I'm just now getting to draw comic books. So I've been wanting to do it since I was like 8. So wow. It's my time. I get my chance, and even then, you know what? I may not make a ton of money doing it, but at least I got to do it. So
hey, man, I'm 48, and I've yet to make my first book. But
you will someday. If you ever need help with some drawings in it, let me know.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I think you're right that mentorship would be something beneficial in CG.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how a number of the bigger creators, actually do like drawing videos, like
they really don't. A lot of them don't, but I mean, in CG, but some of them do.
Yeah, some of them do
because they care about viewership, But you got someone like what's his face who's doing them now, Batman artist. He's not CG, but what's his name? But he's real popular doing them. David Finch. He's doing videos and he gets tons of views off of them just because he's making it entertaining too. It's like an interactive thing. So you can do that. And I did that on Twitch, but I didn't draw Batman. Jim Lee does stuff on Twitch too.
Oh yeah.
I'm not Jim Lee. So so those guys are kind of doing it, and that's a way to mentor too, I think. I think if you get out there and you use technology and interact and like, hey, this is how you draw a head and this is how I do it. And, I think that's good.
Well, how's that differ from okay. All right. So like you're saying with a lot of the CG people, they're doing pre-recorded videos as opposed to, having a live interactive
some of them are doing live drawing videos and they're just talking sessions. I'm talking about actually like instructions. Like you can go and take classes online too. There's online classes by some really amazing artists you can take, and you'll have interactions with them, and you'll get to do actual assignments and things like that. And that's not really mentoring, in my opinion. That's kind of teaching.
Right.
Mentoring I'm talking about it's personal. It's more master and student kind of relationship. And I know, maybe you might take them on as a apprentice, as an assistant. A lot of artists will do that. I know Trent does. He takes on people as assistants, and obviously you have to pay them if they're assistant, but they could be, a lot of the bigger creators, in my opinion, could be taking a lot of the workload off of them and getting assistants to do some of this work. There's nothing wrong with having someone, ink backgrounds. That's been done for years. Ask RT Bear. Yeah, flats. RT Bear ask him. That's how he started. You ink backgrounds. You do all this stuff. You do all the grunt work that needs to be done. And I know that costs money to get people to do it, but it's a learning experience for a lot of people.
Yeah, sure it is.
Yeah.
Jason says it's David Finch that's doing them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, if you watch him, and he's a really, really cool guy.
The first month of Couch Doodles was like How To with Chad interaction. That was pretty decent. He stepped away from it, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Fraga.
Yeah, he did it for a while. I mean, he's doing other things. But yeah, you get guys like that if you just watch passively. But I think also artists that I think they should pick up people, assistants, and if I could afford assistant, I would have one.
And if you were in that position, or when you reach that position, what do you think you'd have them do?
Well, I would have a lot of it would be inking backgrounds and things like that, and also doing background drawing and basics. You know, I've been looking at manga artists and how they do it over there, and it's very like how the olden days of comics were done here. But they have a different culture, and the sales there for manga is out of this world.
Yeah,
and you can get a huge staff of people who do everything. You just draw the figure. You know, that would be great to be able to do that. But you know, like Jack Kirby didn't ink his own stuff. You know what I mean? He didn't ink it. He had he had 3 other inkers doing it, so he could crank out work like crazy. You know, and he's doing like 20-some bucks a month at one point because
dang, that's a lot.
He's just drawing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we should be putting out 26 books a month. I'm saying that you know it would take a lot to alleviate off of, but the issue I think we have is getting to the young readers, the young hungry people who want to get into comics. A lot of them all want to draw manga. They don't want to draw Western comic books. And I think that's an issue because the next generation of artists is very important. I'm not, you know, if we want to keep the art form going, that's, you know, I'm concerned about the art form, the Western comic book art form.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You know, and we're all getting older and we have to pass that down somehow. It could be this Ethan and those guys could be the last generation of Western comic. There'll be people here and there.
Right.
But that style of superhero art, there's not a whole lot of young kids doing it who want to get into it. Most of them are in their 30s plus, and that's an issue. No one's jumping in to do it. They all want to draw manga. You all see kids nowadays; they all want to draw manga stuff. So
that's a good point.
And how do you get those kids to keep the art form going and bring something? You need new blood, fresh blood, and new ideas too. And younger kids will bring that. And we don't have that. So most everybody in CG is like you're my age, or in their 40s, late 30s. Yep. So not a whole lot of younger kids.
That's a keen observation. Yeah, we definitely need to find ways to bring in more young folk, and especially those who are going to be into or would appeal to Western style comics.
I mean, it could be, you know, it could be a mishmash of both too. You know, young kids are into, what are they into? They're into video games, they're into manga, they're into anime right now. Yeah. If you pay any attention, and then what video games they're into is like Fortnite and things, and these are all cartoony, westernized kind of looking stuff. And we need to tap into that a little bit more, but also the Asian influence of art and everything in video games and all that stuff is coming along, and that needs to be addressed too, because that's what the next level kids are into. And if you don't adapt, you know, you'll get run over. And I always think that that's the biggest problem the mainstream comic book industry has. Yeah, the SJW stuff is a huge problem. And they're destroying the characters, and that's definitely a problem, definitely. But I think the manga stuff is killing them. Like sales wise, it's killing them, because one book, Demon Slayer, sold more copies in 1 month than the entire Western comic book industry in a year.
Yeah,
one manga book, one. So those kind of numbers. I think Shonen Jump, which is just one magazine in Japan, I think in 1 quarter sold something like 50 million copies or something like that. It's a crazy number that it sells. So that's just one magazine, you know. So, and that's, inside and outside of Japan.
Isn't Shonen Jump that one like a big book magazine where
Right.
you have
It's
all
like a
these
telephone book.
samples? Yeah, and it's got like samples or short stories of all these different styles of manga.
Yeah, what's really smart in Japan is what they do is there's multiple magazines, not just Shonen Jump, but they're the biggest one. They come out with a weekly magazine, like a newspaper, and it's really tough to get in it. Number one, they only filter out the best of the best, and they put them in there, and they put it on trash paper. Like you wouldn't even wipe your butt with it. That's how bad the paper is. Like you can see through it when you read it, but people just get it for the new stories and the characters, and there's ongoing things. There's new stuff they try every week. Then what they do, if they pick the real popular stories that are really popular, like Dragon Ball Z, for example, came out of Shonen Jump. So Dragon Ball came out of there. So they do that. And then what they would do is they collect each of those stories into the manga books that we all know, the digest size. And those are the ones, they do 2 or 3, maybe once a month. They would take those stories and put them into one manga with nicer paper, but it's still cheap. It's black and white. It's smaller format. It might only cost you $5 to buy one of those, and you're getting 150, 200 pages of story. Yeah. And a lot of people buy the magazine and buy the manga to collect. Then on top of that, now they're making bigger collector editions. So they'll take the entire runs of old stories, put them in these beautiful bound books. And
oh, wow.
So like you can really even do it now. So they've been doing this for some time. And that, unfortunately, I don't think we can do in the United States. That ship has already sailed. But they recycle, they do a big thing, push there, recycle the magazine all the time. It's very recyclable. They have bins everywhere. You just put them in and they'll recycle them. So it's a different culture there. So it's like it's a cultural thing too. Manga is at this point. So it'd be really tough to replicate that here. But we can learn things from that, I think.
For sure.
Put them into CG and Western comics. It's become so corporatized. So it's hard. It's hard to get that model. It would take a lot of funding now. They've been doing it for 75 years. So they know what's going on.
Hey, welcome to Otom Darkstar. Hail.
Hey, what's up?
Check out Grave Robbers. Welcome to Hellhole on Go.
That's still in demand. Yep.
Nice. Hail, everyone.
Comics were the best in the 90s. Now all those 90 kids are grown up. Yeah, I mean, I was in my 20s in the 90s, so I was already grown up. So I grew up in the 80s. That was my time for comics, late 70s and the 80s. That was my time, as a teenager. And a lot of other people. In the 90s, I actually quit buying comics. Like the whole collapse that stopped me from buying it.
I think I stopped collect. I was also big in the 80s into entertainment and comics. And consuming.
Back then, it wasn't cool to be into comic books. It was not cool.
Well, even so, I was still into them for a while, but then I dipped out somewhere around the time comics pricing went from 75 cents a copy, a floppy, to $1.50.
Yeah, that's about right when I went.
Yeah, it was a huge jump. There was that, and then I started seeing more and more of my favorite comics characters being, it was getting like super ultra realistic, and they were bringing in topics from the real world, if you will, into comics. And it was like, I'm not particularly interested in comics about presidents or 9/11 or things like that. Yeah.
I mean, I still bought comics here and there. Something like, but usually they were graphic novels, or they were the collected of something. Once in a while I'd grab, I'd hear a book is really good and I'd go grab it and this, Walking Dead was one of them. I heard pretty early on, I had a first issue of Walking Dead. So I bought that a long time ago. I sold it for pretty good money, but I bought The Walking Dead for the first 15 issues. and then it got
Okay.
stupid, and then they brought out the television show, and it ruined it. It's just like, oh, yeah, this isn't like the comic, so I wasn't into it. But there's been comics along the way. A lot of mainstream stuff are like, it's pretty good. Like I read the X-Men run that Ethan drew on.
Okay.
I did that when I think Grant was doing it. I read some of that because I like Quarterly's art. A lot of people don't like him, but I liked his art, and I liked that they were redoing it and redoing the team. And it just burnt out after a while. I was like, this isn't good anymore. So I thought they were going to go somewhere with it.
Gotcha. Oh, welcome, Indie Wrestling Aces.
Hey, what's up, Ace?
Do you feel once Big Corp got its hands in the pot, it started the downfall of the love of the craft and turned it more into a cash grab, thus a downward spiral to current times?
I mean, Warner Brothers bought DC Comics back in the 90s, early 90s. That was a big deal, but it didn't really change much at DC Comics at the time. They mostly wanted it for, Batman came around and all that stuff. It wasn't until recently, I think, when Disney bought Marvel, I think that's when things got really corporatized. And I don't know. There's still independent comics. I don't think that was like the downfall spiral. I think the cash grab greedy part, because I think people see the 90s and they see, X-Men #1 sold millions and it made comic book artists millionaires overnight, on some of these issues, and definitely caused the gold rush that I think a lot of comic book artists wanted to do. And I think that still permeates this day. They don't, a lot of them don't want to, I don't want to trash like all ex-pros, but they want those days back, where they can make a lot of money. And who doesn't? I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
But those characters, you can't make money off of them anymore. You're not going to be a millionaire drawing X-Men anymore. You're just not. Those days are long gone. So, because the corporation's going to take all the money. They're going to pay you as little. Like, page rates for artists and mainstream comics has not changed in like 20 years.
Jeez.
So
no standard of living increases or anything.
I'm a little artist in CG, and I've probably made more than a lot of guys who are drawing mainstream books right now.
Gotcha.
So it's not necessarily a great gig anymore. So I think some of it was a spiraling, bad writers, bad editors. It's not any one thing. I mean, but it is definitely a cash grab, and that took the wind out of it. It made it into this corporate. It's an IP farm now.
Yeah,
it's all it is. Is like, can we make movies out of this? Can we do this out of this? Can we do politics into it? Can we put all these things into these? And that's all they care about now. Hollywood got a hold of it, and they're going to squeeze all the blood out of that rock that they can.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said before, I think movies and television are the end. They're the dead end of pop culture for a lot of things. Once they make a movie about it or a TV series about it, it's usually the dead end of that pop culture thing. There's a lot of examples in that all throughout the history of pop culture. Like, remember Pokemon back in the 90s was really, really big. The trading card game came out, but then they released a movie, and that killed. It's been able to come back a little bit because those kids got older, but that, kill it. Disco, same thing, disco, and they started making movies about disco. So Batman's like that too. Made all those movies, they made too many. So it's always at the end. So if you get a movie made of your stuff, you can make a lot of money, but it's probably the end of your. It's probably the end. Still the draws. Still the draw.
Look forward to the end. No, welcome,
Hey,
Dory.
if they want to pay me a lot of money for Doom Fate, that's fine. I'll think of something else, but I know it's. At that point, I'm done. I cash out.
Welcome, Dory. Good to have you. Deller Draws. Hello, nurse. I mean, Wyman.
Hello, nurse.
Dang, everyone here tonight. Hello.
I bring all the boys to the yard.
Yeah.
My milkshake brings all the boys there.
No doubt. That Pokemon movie made me cry. They knew what they were doing. I gotta say, it was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, it's not a bad film.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's like after that, it's like, what do you do after that? How
Right.
far do you go with an IP? It's like you can't do like more merch, you know? It's like
Yeah.
more Pokemon cards. Okay, it's still around, it's still doing really well, but the video games still do well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like it gets up there. But they were smart. Pokemon people were smart. They saved it through the years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they kept it going. They didn't blow all their money on more movies. They didn't make 50 billion Pokemon movies. You know what I mean? Like Pokemon. They didn't do that. Made one. I think they made another one. And then they went right back to making video games and cartoons and stuff like that. They went back to what made it popular. Comic books companies don't understand that. They're like, oh, let's make Batman. Let's make another Batman. Let's make the 50th Batman. They just want to keep going until it's dead.
Yeah, like the Transformers movies from Michael Bay.
Yeah, those are true. That's one of the first Transformers movies, one of the few movies I walked out on.
Oh, shit.
The other one was a Batman movie. I walked out on that movie too.
I just suffered through.
No, when the part where they're going down and the Matrix is hitting things, and that guy walks out with the Xbox out of the store, and it's perfectly in frame with Xbox, and it shoots it, and then the Xbox comes to life as a Transformer. I got up and walked out. I'm like, this is stupid. This is dumb. This is just product placement.
Yeah.
You know, I like the Mustang versus the Camaro thing. That was awesome because if you're a car guy, you always had that battle. But that part, I was like, this is dumb. The cell phone, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those transformations didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think given the opportunity, Hollywood would spit out loads and loads of Pokemon movies. I mean, yeah. I guess the next one would probably be, I mean, it was interesting when they did do this movie that they gave it like a detective slant, which was totally unexpected for me because I never would pair the two genres, but they made it work. And I don't know if they'd continue the whole detective idea or if they just start jumping into battles, Pokemon battles, in matches and stuff, so that you've got high adrenaline action scenes and things like that.
Yeah, when you make movies and creative things by committee, you don't have creative visions for things. That also ruins them too. I mean, like Gothic says, you know, Star Wars is because George Lucas handed it over to Disney, which was probably the worst idea ever. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of episode 1 and 2 and 3, but at least it was his vision. You know, he was doing it right or wrong. He could have handed it off to someone he was mentoring to do it right, but he, you know, and he could have retired, but he sold it all off. He wanted, you know, he wanted to cash out, or someone talked him into it. I don't know how it happened, but even he's not happy with how Star Wars is being treated, because that's his legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And his legacy is being destroyed, and he should have hung on to it and just handed it off to other people and let the people he trusted. You know, the guy who's got doing Mandalorian now, he did all the Clone Wars stuff. He would have been perfect to just here you go, dude, you get it.
You mean Dave Filoni?
Yeah.
Right.
He would have been perfect to just make him the head of LucasArts and have him handle everything. And then Lucas is still, of course, he's kind of in the back, but you kind of hand it out like Disney did towards the end of his life. He was not involved on the day-to-day of every project.
Right.
Got guys he trusted to do it. And, you know, because Disney actually kind of quit animation right around, I think it was like Sleeping Beauty or something like that. He wasn't really involved in it too much. He started working on the parks more.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I understand it, Lucas was like, uh, I don't know if it's really the
He has a
right.
love-hate relationship with Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like coerced, but in his meetings with Bob Iger,
Yeah.
he had this idea that he was going to get the same kind of nice deal that John Lasseter did.
Yeah.
When, he was, made head of animation.
Yeah.
But a lot of his influence or whatever was thanks to Steve Jobs. Um,
Right. He's on the board.
right. And then with Lucas, I guess Bob Iger in his like memoir, that book he released,
Yeah.
was convincing George that you ought to sell us this property. We'll take good care of it, and basically led him on.
Yeah.
And
Well, he's a salesman.
yeah.
And he just wanted to do more stuff with the parks. He wanted to re-image it. I think I have heard that Lucas put things in the contract and other things that he gets paid for, like if they reuse the old stuff.
Yeah.
So like they have to change it. It's one reason like Millennium Falcon, they put that different dish on it.
Yes.
It's like Stormtroopers had to be reimagined because the guy who designed them actually won a court case that he actually gets paid for his designs because Lucas never got him in a contract like a moron. So like some of his designs, the reason why they didn't use Darth Vader really until Rogue Squadron, because then they got to pay Lucas, they got to pay the designers. Disney really hates paying creators for their stuff.
Oh yeah.
And they will change everything. I think that's another reason why they're changing everything. They don't want to pay those residuals anymore. They've been like that. Disney and Marvel, they refuse to pay. Really, they just fight it at every minute. They don't give it. They fought Kirby for years. They fought all kinds of creators. Starlin with what's his face with.
Let's see, wasn't one of the creators Schuster, the Schuster estate?
Yeah.
Created as Superman.
Yep.
And
they'll fight him for years and years and years to get him thing. They'll get laws changed, courts change. They'll do all this stuff, and they screwed over Lucas the same way, and he knows that. He was silly for selling. In my opinion, I think it was a bad move.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I know his kids weren't interested in taking it over, but he had tons of people working there that just love Star Wars, and they've been there. They would have took it. They would have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. So talking about taking things over, how about coloring books? Coloring books are taking over the world by storm.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
Not really, but
well,
I'm segueing.
There's like an interest in like adult themed coloring books in stores.
Yeah, past few years. Yeah.
You see them more and more. Just to go through, let's see what else I missed before we go into the next topic here. Doom Fate was awesome, says Jason.
Yeah, did you get a copy of it?
Yeah.
What'd you
think?
In
my collection. All right, you're gonna hate me, but I haven't
read
anything yet.
You haven't read it?
No. I've got loads and loads of books I've backed, but I have not gotten to reading them.
Oh, okay.
So you're not alone.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm sure I will.
It's not going to change your life, but it's not crap. So
cool.
Yeah,
that's all I can ask for.
Yeah, it's a good book. I mean, it's a solid book. I think I might be biased, but I haven't really heard any negative things about it. So at least no one's told me to my face.
Nice.
But a lot of everybody I've heard, I've gotten overwhelming. Like, hey, yeah, it's good. It's a fun book. It's awesome. So the next one's going to be even better. So I've learned a lot.
Welcome, Flying Feline. Check out the Buckler on Indiegogo.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Fate turned me into a chubby chaser.
Kinda, yeah, I might.
Check out Absolute Book 2 on Indiegogo. Yes, friends. You milk everything you can out of an IP before you have to evolve the main character. When the main character changes, the story dies, no matter what.
Usually it dies, yeah. mean, you can do switches and stuff in the main character, but that's ultra rare. You know, that's really hard to pull off. I can't think of too many major characters where they switched him out and the switch out character. But, you know, like the Flash, you know, you had Wally West and what's his face? The other one. They switched him out and that kind of worked. You know. Hal Jordan, people didn't like when they changed Green Lanterns, but there's multiple human Green Lanterns now when they swapped them out, Gar Gardner and stuff like that. That kind of worked, you know, wasn't very popular at the time, but it's not going to change your life, but it's not crap. Yep. That should be on the back of the book. Yep. Sure.
There you go.
I draw comics and do comics for entertain people. You know.
So we've got this cool looking book here. By the way, I don't think is this at all part related to your book?
No, that's
Puramax self-cleaning cat litter box.
No.
Oh my gosh!
I don't particularly like everybody's like, let's do IGG. We got to do IG. I don't particularly like that they do that on my campaign, which is already. Why aren't you advertising my campaign on bigger ones? Why are you advertising bigger ones on my little campaign?
Oh my gosh!
Makes no sense. That does annoy me.
I just started noticing that happening recently.
Well, they did donations and stuff like that for political things too up there.
Oh,
that was kind of annoying. Yeah, they were doing that for a while.
Yeah,
but I don't care about other people's freaking campaigns.
Yeah, really. So your team is all get out, man. So we've got Coloring the Undead. So what was the impetus for? How did you come up with it, or what made you want to do another coloring book?
Well, people asked, and I listened. I had this idea since I did my first one, Mythstar's Menagerie of Monsters. That was the first one where it's all fantasy monsters. And I had this one done. I did a bunch of pictures and stuff, and it's been sitting on my hard drive for a few years now. So I added some more up-to-date art, and I wanted to get the book out. I wanted to do it. So it was pretty much done. So I had some time in between projects. I was like, let's see if I can get this funded. It looks like we're going to be close. Well, we still have, 6 weeks, but I'd like to get us funded by the end of the first 30 days would be great. But, I'm shooting for, we're going for 2,500, but I'm shooting for 100 backers. 100 backers would be great. So that's going to be a rough thing. But coloring books are cool. I like doing them. I think my art I like doing that kind of art so people can color it.
Is there a lot of thought put into the type of paper you use?
Yes and no. I like you can only get certain printed paper. I try to get the thickest paper I can that it's going to absorb ink the best it can. And that's important. I print everything on one side of the paper, so there's not images on both sides. So when I say it's 42 pages, that's 42 pieces of paper in the book. So it's pretty thick. The Midstars was 100 pages. It's 100 pages. It's a thick book. So I try to get the decent paper for people to color on, and but we're still restricted on what printing companies use. But I think a good quality. There isn't really too many high-end coloring books. Too many. They're all most of them are actually really cheap. But I didn't go really cheap. We're in the middle.
Right. So. Yeah, I mean, you actually read my mind. I was going to ask next if these images are on both sides or if it's just one side.
Just one-sided.
That's pretty cool. Have you done like a bunch of tests, like on your proof copy?
Yeah. I've done some coloring on it. I actually have the proof copy here. So yeah, I've done some, see if I can find it here. So I did, this is like my death metal hero one.
Oh, wow.
So this is all done with Copic markers.
Oh, wow.
But Death Metal, I drew this way before I knew Death Metal Hero. But I'm just saying that. But I drew this one a long time ago, and this is all done with copper markers, which are alcohol-based markers. So I wanted to test out the thing. So you can see it does bleed.
Oh, wow.
But it didn't bleed too much. I use a piece of blotter paper in between so I don't mess up the next image.
Oh, okay.
I always suggest that if you're using markers, or pens or whatever you're using, because you never know. Even with this nicer paper, it's still going to leak through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it depends on what kind of marker you're using, how much pressure you're putting down, how saturated the paper gets. Really, but the book is already done. This is the proof. You know, we just got to change some names in the front, and the backs, you know, got to be tweaked a little bit. But
okay, yeah, like literally, it's almost completely done.
yeah.
So,
There's a second book I'm part of this. We'll get to that, but
sweet.
That's being drawn now. The date's in February. I'll probably be done way before that because everything else is ready to go.
Nice.
So I'll probably want to start shipping by Christmas.
Oh, sweet.
Which would be nice. But with the shipping fees going up during Christmas, don't know. So might wait till after Christmas on purpose.
Right.
You know, so we can get out of that.
Yeah. So you're coming close to the end of the first 30 days. Are you planning on doing another 30 and then go in demand?
Yes, plans go in demand. Like I said, I'd like to get this funded by the end of the first month, and then we can start getting higher than that, and then start if we get past that. I got numbers in my head. I don't want to say what they are, but the $2,500 is basically to get everything printed and shipped. That's it. You know, for that, I have a target of like 100 backers would be fantastic.
Nice.
That's kind of how I did all the math. So we're only at, well, technically we're higher than that now, but we need to get to 100 before the 60 days, which would be great. And then, you know, I'll pick up more and more people as we go along. So that would be, and the more we get, the better it does. You know, these things take time. There's a lot of books being funded right now. So.
Oh yeah, I know it. Let's see. DMH. Oh, Death Metal Hero would probably buy that off you. Send him a pic of it. I think you dig it.
I have the original art here somewhere too.
Oh, nice.
Speaking of that, you can get so if you back this book in the first 60 days, you get a free zombie sketch card.
Oh.
So done by me. I have a whole ton of them here.
Whoa. Nice.
They're all done. They're all black and white. Some are color. We got some color.
Yeah, except for the red inked one.
Yeah. We got some, you know, I threw some color. Got pirate one there. Got screaming one. We got all different ones I've done for fun.
Wow.
Some are really cool. So you'll get one of these. If you buy one of the deluxe sets, you get a piece of original art from the book.
Oh, nice.
So if Death Metal Hero buys a deluxe set, I will be more than happy to throw the original art in there for him.
Oh, hell yeah.
I haven't talked to him.
You got, those are good quality sketch cards too.
Thank you.
How long?
Yeah, I do those a lot.
How long does it take on average to?
Just to do the pencils and inks probably takes me about a half hour.
That's not
there's about 100 sitting here.
Wow. All right. Sweet. I love the title and the lettering here and how you have this. That's an awesome looking hand there.
Thank you. That's how Comics did that. Alan Alonso. He did the cover for the coloring book, and he did the logo.
Out of curiosity, is that in the D, is the whole of the D supposed to resemble a skull?
I think so, maybe. I don't know what he was going for there, but
okay,
looks cool.
Yeah,
it is.
Sweet. So are coloring books dead? No. Oh, by the way, how did your first coloring book perform?
We did like almost 9K on that one. So
whoa, damn.
Yeah, it was a different time in Comicscape, but we'll hopefully we can get to close to that number. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, wouldn't it? That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Like you said, back in the first 30 days, get these perks. Random zombie sketch card. Limit 1 per order.
Yeah, like if you do like 10 books, you're not going to get 10 cards. You get 1 card. So I mean, appreciate you getting 10 books, but
yeah, for sure. 1 family deluxe backer from the first 60 days will receive the original cover art for Mythzar's Menagerie of Monsters, 11 by 17.
yeah, the original art cover. Well, that's down towards the bottom. You'll see the art for that, but
All right.
someone will get that if you get. That's the $100 tier, and then we'll get to that tier. But
oh my gosh, this is
so that's the cover. That's my design idea, but that's the great Alan Alonso who did it. He did a fantastic job. I was too busy at the time to do the cover, so he was gracious enough to do the cover for me. And so
that's hilarious. I love it.
Thanks. Yeah, that's what my idea. A little cutesy animal and the zombie and coloring it. Yeah, so it's pretty funny. But all the interior art's mine. I did.
Wow.
So this is just one of the pictures. The coloring the Undead's more adult orientated. So I'd say if you're like 14 or 15 years old, there's no nudity in it, and there's no like hardcore violence. But there's like blood and guts. You'll see some blood and guts here, maybe a severed head or something like that. But there's nothing in there that's like really gratuitous or anything like that. So
wow,
kind of kept it simple. So like more like classic horror drawings. So you got your zombies and your vampires and some werewolves in there. Things like that are in the book.
So do you think coloring books are like a whole other art style into itself?
Yeah, you have to. I see a lot of people in like big name comic book companies do this. They'll take just stuff from the pages of the book and reprint it in a coloring book.
Right.
I don't think that's a great coloring book. I draw it on purpose like that so people can. I don't put in a bunch of shadow and shading and hatching, because you want people to be able to color that in. That's the point, is to put a bunch of cool shading and coloring. So you want to do that. There are some people draw some great coloring books. There's all different facets. There's themed ones. There's geometric ones. There's relaxing ones. There's weird art and all that stuff. So, some of it's usually just real simple line art. Minor themes, and I want to keep it cartoony and fun so people can color it. This is Frank Loses His Mind. This is the kids' book. It's for little ones. Like say this was a Nickelodeon TV show.
Okay.
That's kind of how I approached it. So that level of thing. This is Frank, who's Frankenstein monster. He's on his way to work and he forgets where he placed his brain. So he has to go to his other monster friends to help him find it. So we got on the front, that's Gil, the Gill Man from, Creature from the Black Lagoon. We got a werewolf, his name is Harry. We got the vampire, his name is Bella. And we got the mummy, her name is Cleo. And then there's a zombie in it, and he's floating in a pond. He has no arms and legs. His name is Bob. And then there's the Invisible Man. He does not appear in this book. So it's just kind of like it's an activity in coloring, real basic coloring, that kind of art throughout all the art pieces. And then there'll be basic, like if they know their numbers or their letters, that's about all. Maybe some words. There's like a word search in there, but it's all real like bat and brain and real simple words. It's not
okay. All right.
Frankenstein is not going to be in there. It's too big of a word for a kid. That's why I named it Frank, instead of Frankenstein. Plus, I don't want to get sued. But Frank. And I went through like, hey, what would I do if I was doing a Nickelodeon show? So this is kind of where I came up with it. So it's funny.
Is this like a whole separate book from the
yes
coloring book? All right.
Yeah, because a lot of it, because the the Undead book is so adult themed, but I know a lot of people with Midstars, they like their kids to draw it, and the kids, some of the pictures in there might be too scary for little kids.
Right.
I put some like nice cutesy pictures in there, but some people are like, hey, I got little kids. And I was like, well, I don't know. So I separated, this is such a theme that's like horror, you can't give little kids scary pictures. So this is like monsters, but it's not, like you remember Monster Squad back in the day, that's and Goonies, that kind of feel, it's good for kids, but yet it wasn't super scary. This is not scary at all. It's just fun. It's just fun and cutesy.
And you said it's an activity book, so you've got like the word find. You said
right, like everything's themed. Like so, Frank first in the beginning, he can't find his brain, and that's the first piece of art for it. And then you go into an activity, and that's where you do the word search. He's trying to think. It's one big word bubble, and then that's the word search. Nice. Like with Gil, he's the first one he meets. You have to, he's fishing, he's looking for fish. You have to count the number of fish, then you have to match the fish up.
Nice.
That kind of stuff. Harry's like, he's trying to dig for bones, so you got to figure out, you got to count how many bones and stuff like that. Count Dracula, obviously it's about counting. Basic Sesame Street. And then Cleo, she's going to be about matching symbols together. Because you could be trying to figure out that. And then Bob the Zombie is going to be like a maze through a graveyard. You got to go find his arms and legs for him. And then you got to match him up to his body.
Nice.
So stuff like that. Real simple, easy stuff. Parents could take the kids through it if it's a little too hard in some parts. Just something they could do.
Cool.
Something fun.
Pencil case.
Yes. I got that. It's a really nice pencil case. It's a real strong cloth printed. So really cool. Came out really nice. Camera doesn't do the color justice. It's really green. So
cool.
So you zip the top open where the little stitches are. So cool.
All right.
Yeah, you'll with the deluxe set you get a set of 12 colored pencils. So that's only in the deluxe sets. You get that.
Oh, all right.
And the deluxe sets come with the shipping box, which that's all the rage in CG now. But but I didn't just slap art on it, so I made a special box for it. So this is actually doubles as like your very own personal book you can put on a shelf. It's called the Colorum Mortis. So it's coloring the undead. This is like a lich book. And it's got the little ribbon in it, and the pages on the side, and then the back is kind of my homage to the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead. And it's got this, so like you'll get this shipped to you, everything will be in it, and then you can save this box, and it's really sturdy too. Hopefully, it won't get too crushed. But we ship this to you, and you'll have everything in it. And then when you're done, you're ready to color, or you're done, you just put everything back in the box, put it up on your shelf. It could kind of be a collectible, up on there, and then you just pull it down for the kids, whatever, when they want
to. Where does the box open? At the top?
It opens here on the side, actually, like where you would actually open the box. So, like, so like how you would open a box.
Oh, okay. All right.
Open a book, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
I was gonna, one of the stretch goals later on, if we do really well, I was gonna actually do design inside the box. So, but we'll see if we get there for that. That would be kind of high up there, but it's a cool box. I like all the shipping boxes. I think they're a cool idea, but I would like them to be a little more collectible. I know other people are doing now slip covers and these nice real boxes, but it's good quality box too. It's really hefty. So I found a good company, and actually they saw this design and they emailed me like, "Holy cow, this is awesome! Please let us know when you want more. We really want to do these." I was like, "Well, like we'll see how we do." Yeah, they were really excited to do it, so they thought it was really cool.
So is the address labels and the stamps will be on the box itself?
Yeah, it'll be on the box. It'll be on the back down here.
Okay.
Hopefully now you can order the box by itself.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
cheap,
Mm.
but you can get one sent flat to you.
All
I
right.
can't guarantee it's going to get to you in perfect shape, but we'll package it up and put it in if you just want the box. But everything will be shipped in here. But I think that'll add to the patina if you beat it up a little bit in the post. And it's like I said, I'm going to pack everything real nice so this doesn't cave in. This is
All right.
actually really, really. There's nothing in here now,
Uh-huh.
and it doesn't dent.
Oh, good.
Really. So I've like thrown this around the house to test it. And just it's not even scratched. So
Cool. Yeah.
I've given it a good test. I mean, it's got a couple bends.
Looks like a good box then. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually most concerned when it comes to this applying the stamps and the labels, and sometimes
I can't get around that. I'm gonna have to put tape on it. There's no way I can get around that. But it's just for fun, and it's a shipping box.
Yeah,
we'll see how that works out.
It's a cool idea though.
Yeah, and I plan if I get to do more coloring books, I plan on doing themed ones for all of them.
All right.
So you can eventually collect them all.
Yeah, I remember I missed your last campaign with Menagerie.
But I sent you one.
Monsters. Yeah. So I thankfully was able to order a couple, and
the first one.
I gave one to my neighbor's kids.
Oh, good.
Draw. Yeah. And I kept one for myself.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is 100 pages. This is a real big book. And you can get this through the Family Deluxe one, or you can buy it separately as an add-on.
Nice.
So, it's a heavy book, so this is some of the art from the book.
This is awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, this is so good.
Yeah, and people have had fun coloring these. I know a lot of adults color them too. So they secretly send me DMs like, I colored your book. Like, it's okay if you colored the book.
Yeah, share it with the world. Post on Twitter.
But yeah, it's a really cool book. Hoping we can get stretch goals at 9,000. That's when we'll start. I have some ideas for them.
Zombie scented car air freshener.
Yeah, it smells kind of like vanilla. So.
So zombies smell pretty nice.
Yeah, they smell pretty good.
They're quite pleasant, aren't they?
Yeah, I got ideas for puzzle and some other stuff that we'll add, but I front loaded this campaign, so like we got to get pretty high before we start adding more stuff.
Right.
The deluxe editions get all the stretch goals. If you buy just the books, you don't get the stretch goals. So so that's the advantage of that too.
So with the deluxe set, you get the box, coloring
the Undead. Frank loses his mind. That's like 70 pages of coloring right there. That's a lot.
Nice.
And then you get one of the pencil cases, and then you get a full set of 12 color pencils to get started, and then you get 2 prints of the colors, just the black and whites, no text or anything on them, so you can just color those yourself.
Oh, cool.
They're not in the books, so those are special just to this tier. Like I said, you get all stretch goals. You get and then you get a zombie card if you back the first 60 days, and you get an original piece of art from the book. And it's first come, first serve. I have extra art and stuff I could put in there, but we'll go. If we somehow get 100 people to buy the deluxe, which would be awesome, then I got extra. So not to worry, we won't run out of art.
Cool. So, this is an amazing set. I mean, this is probably, we got to look over the other tiers.
And all the tiers too, shipping in the United States is included. So you're not paying extra shipping. So it's $60 flat.
Holy moly.
So, and I can tell you in the United States, something to ship this is like $15. So
how are you going to do the
math? What's that?
How are you going to manage that? Isn't that going to cut too much into your ability to fund?
No, we'll get. Well, yeah, that could be like a lot of people fund on that number, but all these numbers are higher. That could be why people aren't backing it in droves, because they see the higher number. But hopefully, people see like, hey, it's included.
Right.
So, yeah, I know a lot of people see these big numbers and they don't realize that sometimes like shipping's $25,
Right.
and
Right.
that cranks the number up even more. But no, it's $60 and you get it shipped to your house here in the States. If you're outside the United States, you're going to pay extra.
Right.
There's no way around that. It's expensive to ship this overseas, but we can do it.
Right. But it's cool that it's available for overseas people too.
Yeah.
Because, coloring books, they're universal. Everyone likes coloring books. Then you got One Frank Loses His Mind.
If you just want that book.
20 plus pages. The pencil case.
If you want that does not come with the color pencils. It's just the case.
Okay.
So.
And you did say it's made of like a cloth material?
Yeah, it's like a woven cloth material. It's really like it's like almost like a canvas.
I was gonna ask you, does it feel like canvas or like blue jeans?
And it's like canvas. It's like really strong. Yeah, it's really strong material. So cool. I think they print them out, but they do a really good job on it. The company I found does a fantastic job on it.
Yeah.
It's really good quality.
Looks really vibrant. We've got the one of Coloring the Undead. 40 plus pages of horrific coloring fun. 2 books of monsters to color.
Yep. So that's both the kids and the adult. So say you don't want the deluxe, you just want both books.
Nice.
Yep.
And then you got a family deluxe set for 100.
Yeah. So that's Coloring the Undead. 2 of the Frank Loses His Mind, because this is targeted towards, like, say you got a family, a couple of kids. And then you get Mythstars, my original book. And then you get 2 colored pencil cases with pencils each, a set of each. And then you get 3 prints of the cover. And again, you get all the art.
Nice.
So you get the extra art. So
that's a freaking good deal.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
And it's a great idea for families, like you said, with more a couple of kids or more.
Yeah, like I got a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, my kids love, my 2-3 kids love coloring your book. And it's like, well, they got to share one book, or I had to buy 2 books. It's like, well, I'm setting this up for you, And if you didn't buy the original Mythstars, it's kind of included. It's almost a freebie in this whole set. So, but then each kid could get their own colored pencil case, and you got that. And you can always buy extras if you have 3, 4, or 5 kids. You can buy them all, whatever they want. But
yeah,
there's tons of add-ons. Everything's add-onable.
Nice. I love campaigns where you've got a lot of flexibility through add-ons.
Yeah, I wish we had a cart system on IGG, but
that would be neat, wouldn't it? Then then it would make things so much easier.
Make them way easier.
Man, yeah, this is your art is killer. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not like a 90s style artist, but I have a more cartoony style, and it's moving more into the manga kind of things. Most of my art's I'm getting more influenced by that, but
okay.
But I like doing coloring books too. I get to do cartoony stuff, so it's fun.
Yeah. So you got this first Risen tier.
Yeah, it's getting drawn into the book. So you could be a zombie, or you can be a survivor. And with either of those, you actually get a deluxe set with it. So,
oh my gosh!
So the deluxe set goes for $60, and getting drawn in the book basically is $90. Or that's my math right. So it's $90. So because a lot of other drawing tiers, they make you buy the book and get the draw tier.
Okay.
This one's like I'm adding it in. So you'll be in a group shot. There's no original art involved. Maybe if maybe one of the people who get it, I'll stick it in there. To someone random who gets it. So you can be a zombie, or you can be whatever. If we don't get enough people and you're the only one, you get right up front, and then I'll put in some other, just generic stuff in the background. But you will be featured
Right.
we'll get everybody as featured as possible. So we got both of those. You can be a zombie or you can be one of the survivors. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
So you still get the flexibility in the campaign, even though you're very, very close to being finished with the book.
Right.
You still get the room to.
Yeah, the proof has the space in there. I just put in those basic images to fill it. All you got to do is change the file a little bit, replace those pages, and send it right back to them. It's not a big deal.
Nice.
It wouldn't take me long to finish. These are all like penciled out, ready to go. I just got to fill in stuff and ink it. It would take me a day.
And you said that it includes the deluxe.
Yeah, the one at the top. So the $60 one.
All right.
You get all that stuff, and then for $90 more, basically, you can get drawn into the book. So usually it's $100 plus, $150, $200, and some books get drawn in the book. So I know some places like a $500 or $1,000 to get drawn in the book.
Yeah,
so
man,
you can have your kids draw you, color you as a zombie. So.
Hey, look at Daddy. He's in the graveyard.
Yeah, I might add a tier later where like a comeback tier for people. We'll see how we do in the back end, but I'm thinking about putting up a thing where you can actually get a sketch card of yourself zombified. So I'm thinking about adding that later.
Whoa, that would be neat.
Yeah, but that's going to be like we get funded, we're good to go, and
right,
get people back. So that's all the tiers.
Okay, all right. So you did already mention the Be a Survivor too.
Mm-hmm. Again, same thing as the first Risen. You get to be drawn in the book, and you get a deluxe edition with it.
So there's only 3 survivors, but 5
zombies. Zombies kind of win. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So
they're closing in on us.
Yeah, someone with a chainsaw, someone with a machete, someone with a shotgun, and then they're all just crashing through the roof.
So. It reminds me of like a scene from Aliens.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
tracker. 5 meters, 4 meters. Wow, that's cool. And one of them's claimed. So get in on this, man.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. First come, first serve. Like the person who did it first will get up front, and the other person, unless they want to have the chainsaw, I'll be the chainsaw guy. But
right.
I mean, I'll take requests. I'm open to whatever, but But in the Risen one, you can put your name or your initials on the gravestones.
Oh,
I'll do that. I'll put everybody's name or stuff on there, like RIP. WyzGyz, put that on the front. Yeah. So do whatever, as long as it's tasteful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But those are cool drawing. I thought those would be fun.
Yeah,
what's up, Mike T?
That's a great idea.
Michael High T.
Michael T, welcome. Passion for drawing, coloring the undead. Thanks for dropping the links, mods. Hello.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We've actually got a couple of backers, so I appreciate that.
Nice. All right. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm not shitting you. I love your work, and
thank you.
I enjoyed your other coloring book.
Great.
It's got really cool.
You didn't have to read that one.
I know. I could just casually breeze right through them and check them out. I mean, who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll be in the mood to color some pieces. But at the same time, I love the art itself as is.
Yeah, it's just double as an art book. So if you like just cool art, it could be that. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's secretly a way to do an art book too, because I like art books, but you only want, if you're only artists buy art books, really. And really you want it from artists who are real popular or fan. No one wants an art book from me. So let's at least make it. Art books don't sell all that well if you're not. I've seen people try to do art book, and you know, I'd had to do something pretty spectacular, I think. I'm not there yet. But I do coloring books, so you know, but they could double as an art book.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Lots of good pieces.
Yes. And
How did
again,
oh, go ahead.
back early, you get pieces of original art, so good way to have stacks of art here. It needs to get out of my house.
And I love original art.
Yeah, and I can't auction it all off. There's just not a, there's hundreds and hundreds of pictures here. So.
You'd be auctioning every single day.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
know. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I know it's a coloring book, but had you considered doing like a little trailer or something?
Yeah, I had an idea for a trailer, but I ran out of time. So like I had gotten sick back in June, in July, and August. Like I hardly did any work in that time. So I wanted to launch this like in July, and I was going to work on something and do a trailer for it. It probably would have been a good idea, but I just I couldn't. So I wanted to launch it because my next project, we'll talk about here next, that I wanted to get out before Christmas, but that's probably not going to happen now. So everything got pushed back 3 months, and so I had to make a decision. Like, do I sit here and make a trailer, or do I, I'm making a trailer for the next project definitely.
Okay.
But this one's like, it's a coloring book. Like, how much do a trailer do we need? I had a whole idea for a trailer, which would have been pretty cool, but I just didn't have time. I had to finish the art, get things printed. The box took 2 weeks for me to design. It took a lot of time. And then I'm doing other work on the side. So it just became a time issue.
Right.
Something has to be cut, and that's what I had. I go, yeah, I wish I would have done a trailer too, but it's just a time issue. But I want to put all that into the next project.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Because like this book, I'm really excited to get out, but the next thing, my next project, that's going to blow everybody's socks off. And I think, I want that to be all the bells and whistles. This coloring book, I want to get it out. Of course, I want to make money and get it funded and do as many sales as I can. But that's a different project compared to what I'm doing next. It's like a totally 180 compared to this. Right. So I want to put as much as my energy, because that's why I got most of the coloring book done, so that I can focus on this next book. And Doomfate 2, I'm already working on that.
Oh, nice.
So,
on Doomfate 2, are you on the writing stage or?
No, it's on the drawing stage. I've penciled it's going to be probably 80 pages.
Whoa. Nice.
So it's going to be a long book. I am not coloring it this time. So I probably got to get about 20 pages in and start getting someone to color it. I'm focusing on the art this time. There's some parts of Doomfate, me personally, I know people like the art, but me personally, I wish some of the art was better, but because I was doing the coloring too, I had to make sacrifices for time. As it took me 3 months to draw it, it took me 9 months to color it. And it didn't 100% come out the way I wanted. So it's because I had to take liberties on the art. I had to cut corners. Gotcha. And I made the best book I could at the time. And then I've learned a lot about drawing comics and things like that.
Even though you didn't do a trailer for this one, if you do find some time, you could always do one at like the 30-day mark of funding, or even wait until you're going to go in demand.
Yeah, I could do that too. I mean, I have people who would do something, for fun. I could always do that. Draw Priestess coloring book when? Well, the Miss Arts has a drow in it, I think. Did I put a drow in there? I may not have. Maybe in the next one, because I'm going to do another monster book eventually. That'll probably be on the list. I can't call them drow, though. They have to be called dark elves. Drow is D&D.
Oh, okay.
They own it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But no, Yeah, I'll do the trailer. That probably would attract more people. I had an idea for one. I had it all planned out, but it became a time thing.
Gotcha. So I am going to, let's see, let me share. So we're going to take a moment because you've got another project in the works.
Mm-hmm.
And let me make sure I got this right. And I don't know if they're going to come up in the right order.
Well, you can share the page. Did I give you a link to the page?
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, so we're doing a mailing list for my next project. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone.
Share screen. Boom. And go back to this, and then boom.
There we go.
So Tales of
Novaterra.
Novaterra. All right.
Yep, it's Latin for 9 realms.
Ooh.
Terra means land or realm. Nove or novum means 9.
9 realms?
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Terra.
So Novaterra is Doomfate takes place in one of these realms, one of the 9 realms. It takes place in one small part of it, but there's 9 big continents or areas of my world. Novaterra is basically the world. Like, we call this Earth. Well, Novaterra would be the name of that planet that this takes place on. And there's 9 realms all broken into it. Kind of like, Westeros is broken up into. So that's what this book is. It's more of it's if you like Savage Sword of Conan magazines back in the day, or zombie magazines or Savage Tales, those kind of large format magazines that had comics in it and also stories. This is the magazine that I'm going back to on it. This is going to be in large magazine format. So
Really?
it'll be like the size of... I don't have one sitting here. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. Large magazine format. Yeah, so if you haven't already, consider Coloring the Undead. Awesome looking book. Back at once, back at twice, back at 3 times a lady. If you don't have the means to back it right now, share it all over social media. Share the stream, share the campaign.
All right.
All
We're
that.
good. All right. So if you were a kid in the 70s or the 80s, these were the magazine for you. This is stuff I've just been buying some of these lately. So this is all Buscema used to do these, and they have these really cool Joe Jusko covers on them. 81. That's from 81. So they would be in black and white, and they would tell stories straight from Conan, or some of them were, brand new stuff.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to show too much because I don't want to get you struck, but this kind of stuff, really beautiful art. Magazine format, big magazine format. These cool things in the back, stuff like that. Let's see here. X-Men number 6. How much do you think it was to buy that back issue back in 1981?
X-Men number 6?
Yeah, the original X-Men number 6. How about the introduction of Kazar, the first issue he was ever in? That was number 10 in X-Men.
100. No. It has to be 500.
$25.
Well, what? Oh, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Baron Zemo, the first appearance of Baron Zemo dies in the Avengers number 11 through 15. It's $20.
Whoa, jeez.
Captain America, the 1971 one is for number 1. Captain America number 1, $6.
Oh.
Daredevil number 1 in 1981. It's $150.
Really?
Yeah.
Daredevil number 1.
Yeah, so I'm going to put in So I'm going to put fun things in there. Like I'm going to put like you can buy old issues of CG books. I'm going to put them in here and, you know, stuff like that. Like they're like
That'll be badass. Oh, man.
Yeah. So it'll be stories like this.
All right.
We have 4 stories. And that's it will be sequential stories. And I think we got the 4 best line guys in CG, some of the top guys. Jason's definitely one of them, but we got 4 of the other top guys that do great, beautiful black and white art, because the book's gonna be in black and white like this old book. We got Doodle Bags.
All right.
Pat Maxon. He's done Vestige, and he's doing this book. He's doing a story called Despite Your Face. That's about Armis. He's a character in Doom Fate. All these are flashback stories and how it fleshes out the characters in Doom Fate, but you don't have to have read Doom Fate.
Oh, okay. Good,
all right.
Good.
You can use this as a jumping point and then get Doom Fate. Doom Fate will be offered with this thing, so you could buy like a bundle. Mm-hmm. You can get the magazine and Doom Fate, or we can get you to read it sometime before you actually back this book, WyzGyz. Or you can read it after. You flatter me. Well, I need a good flatter to color my book.
Without skimming a beat.
Yeah. So the first one's by Doodle Bags. He's fantastic, and we'll get some art we'll show later. The next one's done by Alan Alonso. He's done. You might know him as Howl Comics. He's done stuff for Lost Pages and Magic Cup.
Nice.
And we got Joe Ball. He's doing a character called Helios. If you read the book Doom Fate, you know what happens to him. But this is kind of his back origins. And you see some of that. He talks about a thing called the Front. And the Front's basically, if you think of Lord of the Rings, where they go to the Black Gate and they're going to take on Sauron in the tower. Basically, right. Think if that war actually happened and it goes on for 1,000 years.
Oh, damn.
Kind of like that, but I'm doing my own twists and things on it. It's been going on for 1,000 years. So what happens is everybody sends their heroes and their best warriors there to fight, and you got to do a 3-year stint at least if you survive. So it's bloody, it's gory, it's not a nice place to be. So he started out as like a real hero type, like, hi, and the Front kind of changes him. So, and then we do Seize the Moment. That's by Preston Acevedo.
Oh, shit. Damn.
And that's an orc story about War Commander Zoc. He's in Doom Fate as well. At the end, you get to see how it's called Seize the Moment. And you get to see how he moves up and how the orc world works in my world. A little bit more, it's a lot more brutal. And the theme throughout all 4 stories is scars. Basically explains how all these guys get scars. And because in Valerian culture, the men are considered popular in hierarchy, how many scars they have and the stories behind them. So this kind of gets into it. The orcs are like that, sort of. How they get scars do help, but also what they take in prizes in battles and things like that, and they wear them. So if they take someone's head or someone's skulls or whatever, they wear them as trophies. So they're more about trophies and scars. So this is about how that goes on. So help flesh out the world a little bit. Plus, they're just cool ass fantasy stories. If you're into sword and sorcery and stuff like that, that's the book for you. But we don't stop there. We're going to do 4 traditional stories. So you sit and read them.
Whoa.
And that's good. We got Phil Diaz, Ace. I win the Ace. We got Mark Middleton, the Grave Robbers and Eddie Winkler of Sovereign Wolf fame. Those guys are all doing side stories. They're not going to be sequential work, but they will have illustrations, like an illustration to go with it, done by Simon Poitier. He'll be doing one for each story. So you can sit down, crack it open another day, and just read the story. Okay. They used to do that again in the Conan books.
All right.
They would do some Sumerian stories and stuff like that. I always thought, and also old fantasy magazines, if you ever read those. that's how the guy who came up with Conan, he used to do stories for magazines. They were printed there. So same kind of idea. Those guys are doing stories. The cover is being painted by ink spots. He's going over my pencils. I can't show that now because it's not in a done state, but I can tell you it's very, very throwback reminiscence of those old cool fantasy Conan covers. I think everybody will be really cool with it. And then, we got Brandon Diaz. He's going to be doing some illustrations in it. And we're going to have a letters page, and we're going to have some fun stuff in there. There'll be some pinups in there. There'll be bonus art, things like that. We're also going to put a role-playing game module in it for Dungeons & Dragons, if you're into role-playing game. And that's linked into the Doom Fate. If you read Doom Fate at the end, there's a part in there where Death Grip sends one of the orcs. There's 2 orcs. He sends one of the orcs and his men to go attack a town. Well, that module is you are the adventurers protecting that town. So it's a one-night kind of short adventure. There'll also be monsters, stats that are part of Doom Fate will be in there too. So you'll have like a monster kind of mini manual in the back. There'll be some giants in there. There'll be some orcs in there. There'll be the Valerian template in the back of the book. So if you're into fantasy, you're into role-playing games, you're into all this stuff, this is one big nerd place for you. It's not got a bunch of articles about doing this, and that. This is all story. This is all fun. That's what this is. I'm not here to write a bunch of articles about this, and that. This is about giving people entertainment in and out of the magazine. So,
man, you are killing it. This is awesome.
Yeah, I've been working on this for a year. So we're getting close to all the art's pretty much done. Preston's finishing up his pages, and all the dialogue is pretty much done. The writers are writing their stuff already, and that's going to go through the editorial process. I hope to have this launched in February. Get going. I got editors working on stuff. The game itself, the module, is being written up. I'm having help from a couple of guys who actually have published for Dungeons and Dragons. They're helping me flesh out some things, and they'll be play testing it so that it works.
Oh man!
So we'll have a pretty cool magazine on our hands. Probably could be around 40 pages ish with all the material. I think I'm going to try to keep it. I'm going to try to keep it under $20 for the magazine.
Whoa!
So, we do our best because black and white, it's much cheaper, but the larger format's a little more expensive. But we're not going to use real expensive paper. My idea is like you sitting on the shitter and you read this. You put it in your back pocket. You read it. You beat it up. You can obviously collect it, but buy an extra copy, buy a reader copy, buy it. And
sure. Yeah,
it's a magazine. It's meant to be read. It's meant to be used. I want people folding the cover back and reading it. I want all that kind of stuff I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Actually read it. Like I got this old one. This isn't mine, but I bought this used. It's been read. It's used. It's turning yellow. The pages are turning yellow. I'm not using newsprint. It'll be nicer paper than this. It smells. It's got that old paper smell.
Yeah.
You see how the pages are kind of turning yellow. I think that shit's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Like even there's an article in here about the movie. It's pretty cool. But that's the kind of feel I want. Like I'm going to be doing a fake letters page, all that stuff in here. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll bring this kind of stuff back.
How cool is that?
And have a lot of fun with it.
I know I'm being picky here, but isn't this supposed to be spelled ADD to add to your campaign?
What do you mean? What do you mean what?
Above this bottom image where you're talking about what else is included, the role-playing short adventure module, the letters page, pinups, bonus art.
Can you point that out to me?
I'm trying to, but I don't see it visible. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, yes.
I don't see the cursor visible on the screen.
Oh, okay. I see it. New monster to add to your companion. Yeah, you're right. It should be ADD. Oh, I can go in and fix that. Or no, I did that in that's Photoshop. We'll leave it.
Sign up today and receive an exclusive trading
card. You'll get a trading card when you back.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we probably won't do like a discount or anything, but you'll get the trading card. I can't announce who the artist is yet. So, when we get closer to launching, then we're getting like the last few weeks, and I'll be able to. It's someone well known.
Nice.
CG. So I think I'm talking to a couple artists right now.
Cool.
So yeah, if you want to show the art off too, I think that'll really, really.
Does it have an ad for the World War II memorabilia store in it?
No. What we're gonna do in the back cover is, you remember those old ads where you could send away for shit?
Oh,
like
yeah.
X-ray glasses and all that stuff. Well, I'm gonna do kind of like a fantasy Novatera version of it.
Oh.
So you see these laser beam, goggles, or like, this hand that gives you wishes and stuff like that. You'll be able to. It'll be totally fake and fun. There's also going to be an ad in there, like you remember those Charles Atlas ads where the guy kicks the sand in the guy's face. There's going to be an ad in that, but it's going to be like with the Valerians, kick snow in the guy's face and stuff like that. It's going to be that kind of stuff.
Grit subscription, lol.
Yeah, monkey's paw. Yeah, you're like, you can get this monkey's paws. We're just going to put fun things in there, and it'll just be for fun on the back.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just fun stuff like that. Like to give that whole homage to that time. And I have some other ideas. Like I want to do a Hostess knockoff for that, and I have some other ones later. I want to save them for later, but Saturday morning cartoon lineup. I want to do that. I have some friends of mine. I want to put them in there and like we make a fake 80s cartoon lineup from the 80s. You had all the cartoons. You had your Smurfs, your Flintstones.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo. And I want to do like a cool throwback to that in one of the books too. I have tons of ideas I want to do. I just got to get the first one funded. We get the first one funded and more. We'll do more issues.
So you are intending on the ultimate goal, ideally, is to just keep releasing magazines, right?
Yes, I'd like to make them every 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
So we'll have a rotating thing. So like if this one takes off and we can get over 5 figures on it pretty early, I can get the artists for the second issue and third issue going on what they go. So I want this to always fund itself. Of course, I'll make a little bit of money, but not much. I'll be doing other things.
Right.
I kind of just want to be the editor in chief on this and write stories.
Are you? Are you? Let me see. Are the different artists? Are you constantly going to be bringing in different artists every season?
I hope so. These 4 artists have already said they want to come back and do another issue.
Oh, cool.
They've already jumped in, and they've been very, very generous with their time and their art.
Nice.
They've been, and the stuff is way beyond what I thought it would be. When I wrote the stories and I picked these guys, I kind of wrote the stories with these artists in mind.
Really?
They were all my first picks, and they all did but they went above and beyond, and they didn't have to do that. And like just the Joe Ball piece here is just, that's him overlooking the front. That's all orcs and humans and stuff fighting down there. He just blew it out of the water.
Man.
I pictured this image in my head, and he just did it way better than I would have drawn it. So I totally think the Hostess stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited about this book. I'm excited about the coloring book, but this one is this is my baby right now. And this is Doodle Bags. There's going to be a little bit of skin, as you can see. This is not a book for little kids. There's definitely going to be some violence. Like those Conan books, they were not made for little kids. So this is not for them. There's going to be some blood and guts, and there won't be any sex, but you'll see there's a little, side boob and butt and stuff like that. But we'll try to keep it tasteful. Yeah, because that's what I wrote here. I wrote, I'm like, do a tasteful sex scene. That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote. And then Doodle Bags did a fantastic job. And this is Alan Alonso, his story about Galen, who's the bald guy with the beard in Doom Fate. This is his younger years when he's chap. So, yeah, he's really good. The story is fantastic. This one's 7 pages. The Doodle is a 6. Joe is a 7, and Preston Activators is 8 pages because his was too epic to do it. Too small. It's too much going on. So, but these were all stories and ideas of characters fleshing out that I couldn't fit into Doom Fate, and I have a lot more I want to do. And they don't, like I said, like this is cool too. This is Preston's pencils. He's gonna be doing inks and washes and all that stuff. His stuff's gonna really look cool.
Oh, jeez.
So, got some really cool and some black and white art. Like I like black and white art, and I think these guys' art looks fantastic in black and white. They look good in color, but man, they do some great line work.
Yeah.
So we want to see it. And these are all in magazine format, so they're a little wider than they are taller. It's not going to be comic book format. So,
so cool. Man.
Yeah. And like I said, the articles are being, or the other stories are being worked on. We do the D&D stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we'll launch it in February, maybe a little earlier. We'll see how things are going after the first of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the coloring book. Like if I have everything ordered and I'm already shipping in December, January, then I'll launch this book. But I hope to have all the art done by Thanksgiving, and then the only thing we'll have to really get funded is the lettering and the printing of the book. Everything else is paid for. You know, that's it. So it'll be a really cool book, and hopefully it does it really, really well. I got some great artists, and I hope that later on, issue 2, I plan on doing manga kind of homage to Shonen Jump. Right. I have 6 new characters that I'll be introduced there, and I have already talked to a bunch of really good manga artists here in CG who are open to doing it. Once I get the payout for this and we do really well, I'll get them working on the 2nd issue. If we do really well, I'll get these guys working on the 3rd issue. So we'll be ahead. You know, I'd like to get 6 to 9 months ahead on each issue, and each one coming out next will be even better. And we'll always be adding stuff. So like the 2nd issue will be an homage to Shonen Jump. So like I got Jose Garcia, he's agreed to do some stuff. Some other artists, and we'll get them to do cool, fun things for it. And then we'll go back to this fantasy one on that one, so that these guys will come back and do, and we may add more artists, we may add more writers. The book may get bigger. So like if we can do really well on each subsequent one, we can make the book more content, more and more content.
Nice.
So
man, that looks so cool.
So it's a start. I just don't, I don't have Cyberfrog money. So I got to do it slow.
Yet.
Call on a lot of favors. Do a lot of favors. But we can make some cool. And so I ask everybody to like both these projects, please, please, please. If you can't back them, or if you already backed them, please go out and share them.
For sure.
It's the best thing to do to help out, because I don't have a huge platform. But this is a really badass, they're both badass ideas, and the coloring book is like for fun,
Yeah, you got to take a break from the serious stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Why not do some coloring?
Right.
Yeah, so everybody consider backing this campaign and getting on the sign-up list for the other. You know what? Hold on. Let me jump over here real quick, grab that, and excuse me. And let's see, it's called Tales of Novaterra. All right, there's a link for the sign up for Novaterra.
Awesome.
So definitely check that out as well. Get in on the sign up list.
Mm-hmm.
And coloring the Undead. If you haven't already, be sure and back it. Lots of great tiers. Hell of really affordable. If you're in the US, especially, shipping's included.
Right.
Back it once, back it twice, back it 3 times a lady. If
please.
If you don't have the means to do so just yet, like he said, go ahead and share it all over your social media. Let's go ahead and do a refresh here. You're at, I love 69% of your fixed goal. 1738 and 29 backers. And 1893 at 32 backers.
Yeah, we're only $600 away. That's
Look
great.
at that. 3/4 of the way to your funding goal. Sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, if we can get that in the next 2 weeks, that would make me really, really happy.
Nice.
So then we can go on in the next phase. Because if we do get it in, then I'm gonna do the add-on thing with you can get zombified as a card. You can get a scratch card zombified.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Freaking sweet.
Thank you, everybody who backed it. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you all for your support of these worthy projects. Absolutely. Let's see. I think now would be a good time to wrap things up. That's awesome. 75% to your goal. Looking forward to you getting fully funded. And I wanted to give you the floor here. Would you share with the world how you can be found on social media?
Well, you can find me mostly on Twitter. I'm Passion, the number 4 drawing there. It's right there. You can find me there. That's where I'm always like trolling people or posting my work and stuff like that. It's also, if you want to find me, some of my old stuff on Instagram, I need to update it. I'm going to be working on that. That's Passion, the word 4 drawing. So if you want to go on there and look at some of my older stuff, but I will be updating that soon. I can announce, like, I'm going to be doing stuff for Inktober, and I might as well announce it here. So I'll be doing stuff for Inktober, and I'm going to be drawing CG characters.
Oh,
every day in Inktober, and I will be doing videos of that on TikTok, just the drawing. Then I'll probably share those on Twitter and Instagram. So I'll spread them out everywhere. So I'm going to be doing that every day and help promote the book all through October. So I have a list of all my favorite characters. Well, most of them are my favorites, and then there's other big ones that are cool to draw. My ones are favorite to draw. And then so we'll have of course Valeria from Doomfade, a lot, some stuff from, be Cyberfrog in there, of course, and we'll do all those all through the month. Just little sketch cards, and then I'll probably end up giving those away at some point. So,
all right.
So I'll be doing that every day and doing a video every day in October. So just quick pencil and ink, drawings, small.
Awesome.
So that'd be cool.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Let's see. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do, but I hardly use it.
Okay.
I was on Twitch for a while, but I'm taking a break off that.
Okay.
It wasn't really worth my time. I'd rather be doing something different.
So, yeah, I wasn't sure if you had like time-lapse videos of your drawing in inks.
No, not really. I have some of those. That's what I'm trying to do with the other one, is do some time lapses.
Okay.
So
right on. And you can find my social media on the descriptions of every video and stream I do. Thank you all for your support. I think I'm at 391 subs now.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So slowly working my way up and trying to release more content to get more public watch hours to catch up for all the public watch hours I lost earlier. So thank you all for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks everyone in chat for joining us today. You guys freaking rock. Thanks to everyone who watches this stream on replay. And thanks especially to our very special guest, Passion for Drawing.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
And thanks so much for rejoining us. You're always welcome on the show. Hope to have you on in the future too.
Of course.
All right. Take it easy, y'all, and have a great one. I'll see you on the next stream. which may even be tonight with the P.O. Box opening. Take it easy, y'all. Have a great one night. Bye.
Final guest is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.